Today I fucked up by opening my BF's roommate's bedroom door. 4-ish years ago I started seeing a guy who worked in the same industrial park that I did. He was 28, I was 21. After a few dates, I visited his apartment in a building nearby to watch some movies. When we arrived he showed me around. The bathroom, his bedroom, the living room. Then there was another door. He told me he recently let a friend stay with him between places, that he's currently in the process of moving out, and to not go in there. Okay, cool. Got it. Never thought about it again. This isn't my apartment, I don't care what's going on behind there. Things were going good between us. We kept it casual, seeing each other once or twice a week. We kept this casual pattern for a few months and the relationship grew into a more comfortable partnership. I started staying over more often, and began wanting to do my part in keeping a tidy house. He was always adamant that I never lift a finger, and did all the dishes himself. He got me every drink and snack, did all the vacuuming, etc. One day after work, I wanted to surprise him with a home-cooked 3-course meal. I was off work an hour before him. He was aware I was going over to his place to wait for him, didn't know about the dinner. I went shopping, and lugged all the groceries up 3 stories. When I arrived, he wasn't home yet but I had a key, given weeks ago, to let myself in. The fridge was surprisingly bare. There were a few dishes dirty in the sink and a few clean ones on the drying rack. I took it upon myself to wash the dirty dishes, and afterward put the others away. I started opening cupboards, familiarizing myself with the layout. That was my first mistake. If the cupboard wasn't entirely empty, it was filled with garbage. I mean takeout bags, junk food wrappers, empty containers, and dozens of pizza boxes. Almost hundreds. Out of about 16 cupboards, above and below, 4 held pantry items and kitchen utensils. The rest were empty or Tetris-ed with garbage. Needless to say, I was overwhelmed. It didn't smell like rotten food. There were no signs of something like this. I feel like I was blindsided. It made me question everything he has ever said. I remembered the few white lies I caught him in, and the big lie about his father's suicide attempt, confirmed by his sister to be entirely fabricated. Suddenly I remembered the roommate story. Since we met, I hadn't heard a thing about this former roommate. Not a story, not a name, not anything. So obviously that's my next step. Did I feel bad about it? I was crossing a boundary, sure. But at this point, the entire relationship felt a million miles away. It felt like it was built on lies. I felt betrayed and a little stupid. I knew I'd hate myself if I found out later, so I opened the door to the spare room. Yep, mountains of garbage. Mountains. With a path. Each corner was a mound of empty pop cans, bottles, pizza boxes, garbage bags. No furniture. Just a million pieces of garbage and the smell of mold. Could barely see the floor. The same kind of garbage that filled the kitchen cupboards, not the garbage of a roommate that left months ago. I felt bad for him. Obviously he had something going on mental health-wise because that's not something normal people do. I just went on about my evening. I waited for him, made dinner and brought it up gently at the end of the day. I hate confrontation. He was immediately upset and screaming, crying and attempted to gaslight me into thinking I was in the wrong. He tried to tell me I was the cause of throwing him into a hissy fit, and none of this would be happening if I didn't want to be considerate and make him dinner. It's my fault for finding it, not his fault for hiding it from me. It ended with him crying and refusing to talk to me. Easiest breakup ever. And yes, there were 2 sets of dumpsters on the property. 2 for garbage and 4 for various recycling. Too long did not read. I found my, now ex-boyfriend's raccoon-like garbage hordes when trying to cook him a nice dinner, then he blamed the fight on me for snooping. Edit. He is a Reddit user, cuz I introduced it to him lol. N. If you're seeing this, hope everything is okay. That's a mental illness. He needs help. No judgments for not sticking around. A more committed relationship perhaps would beg getting some help for him and being by his side through it all, but in an early stage, probably better to let it go. Welp didn't expect this. 1. Gaslighting would be, that's not what that is, not, you shouldn't have been snooping. 2. It definitely sounds like he has some mental health issues that need addressing. Hoarding is a very serious condition. And I sincerely hope he hears that from someone he can listen to, seriously. 3. I'm glad you got out rather than take on the responsibility of fixing him. You're a good storyteller. I felt like I could see what you saw. That roommate sounds like a slob. Your boyfriend should kick him out. Nice to finally read about a woman on Reddit who did the right thing for themselves. Is everyone just glossing over the part where he fabricated a story about his father attempting suicide? I actually hope he sees this. I have 2 hoarders in my extended family. It's not pretty and is an incredible burden. There is no shame in needing help. I hope this is a wake-up call. Today I fucked up by ordering a fleshlight to my grandma's house. I ordered a fleshlight online last night and the website uses the Shop Pay service to gather your address and credit card. I typed in my email. Shop Pay recognized it, and autofilled all the information I used. I saw that it autofilled the shipping address with my grandma's address and thought, haha, that would suck if I didn't notice that. I changed the address to my address, and clicked place order. I received the confirmation email, and the stupid fucking Shop Pay bullshit changed the address back to my grandma's house. I checked the FAQs on the website. There's no way to change the shipping address on an already placed order besides contacting customer service. I send an email to customer service explaining the situation and 4 hours later they send some automatic email saying, "Sorry, your order was already processed and shipped, so we cannot change the address. Is there any way to intercept this package? I have the UPS tracking number. I know it's a long shot, but I think I'm just gonna fake my death and move to Canada or something now." Too long did not read. Ordered a fleshlight online. Shop Pay is bullshit and replaced my correctly entered shipping address with a previously used address, which is my grandma's house. FML. You could schedule the package for pickup at a UPS location, I would assume. Done that before. It's free to make an account through UPS. Yeah, Granny, this is my new girlfriend. That's hilarious. Unrelated. But my sister's teenage son once ordered something online and it arrived in her mailbox in a bubble-wrap mailing bag. She didn't open it, but through the packaging it felt like a dildo. Not one to snoop, she left it unopened on the kitchen table and just waited for him to come home. But was really wondering about it. He came home, saw the package and said, "Yes, my new handlebar grips arrived." And they had a good laugh when she explained what she had imagined. Not that there's anything wrong with ordering sex toys. I hope you figure out your solution. Change the location at this URL. Hi Bobby, this is your grandma. I have your flashlight but I can't figure out how it works. It doesn't light up, it just shakes. You probably want to return it. Just tell her you ordered a package and accidentally sent it to her house. I don't see the big deal because the package is discreet. I ordered a dildo and it was delivered to my work address in a fucking see-through bag. Tell her it's a tool for removing lug nuts. Today I fucked up by making a tattoo decision while having a bit of a psychotic break. I, 32F, made the decision to get my eyebrows cosmetically tattooed while I was going through a minor, we're probably all living in a simulation, derealization episode. I had the thought of, well, I'm just updating my avatar, haha. I found an artist that specializes in powder brows, and who had an opening a few days later. They look amazing and I love them. The artist was fantastic and the whole experience was lovely. And seriously, they look good AF. Boot, they are very trendy and era specific, like, on an eyebrows throughout the decades, map they are by far the thickest, darkest. These are gonna be pandemic 20s brows, reeeeaal fast. How bad did I fuck up? Too long did not read. Got trendy cosmetic tattoos while wondering if we're living in a simulation. Edit. After getting a good night's sleep and coming back to read all of your comments, I feel so much better. I definitely think the, oh shit what did I do, panic overtook more rational thinking last night. So thank you. They will fade, but even if not, they do suit my face nicely and are the look I really like. And if I'm older and rocking a slightly outdated style, then so be it. Sign of the horns, you guys are lovely. Thank you again, smile disguised face. Just own it. I got a tat that covers half my arm. I don't regret it but could have got something so much better. It is what it is, so no point stressing over it. Better than shaving the ends off to draw them back on after the IG brow trend. I was dumb enough to do that, lol. Can you please post a picture of them? I want to see what pandemic brows are exactly. Rolling on the floor laughing. I couldn't love this post more. Of all the tattoos one might get during a psychotic break, those seem like pretty much the most innocent ones you can get. Brow tattoos definitely fade. If you get sick of them and want them to fade faster, use retinol or tretinoin near them. You don't even have to put it on the tattoos themselves. I've had mine done with both microblading and shading with a gun multiple times, and need to get them touched up again cause they've shrunk right back to my original shape. Thin thanks growing up in the 90s. Now that was a savage time for brows. You'll be fine. Are these forever tattoos? Or like some beautician thingy? Did not fuck up at all. And if you did, fuck it. Just tell people what happened if they ask. They'll laugh. You'll laugh. Today I fucked up by getting too horny while babysitting. Obligatory not today, but yesterday afternoon. Also, the title is not what you think. So yesterday I had agreed to babysit 2 of my younger brothers, aged 6 and 8, while my parents went out to take another brother to a doctor's appointment. Nothing too out of the ordinary. However, my girlfriend lives a few streets down from my parents' house, so I decided to call her and see if she wanted to come over to help me out. Now for some backstory. My girlfriend got an IUD, form of birth control for those who don't know, and didn't have her period for about 7 months. When she finally got her period, it was the first time we had gone without sex for more than a few days since the beginning of our relationship. Day after day on her period we both started to get more excited for it to end, only for it to go for almost 8 days straight. The 8th day was the day before yesterday. So yesterday when she comes over, one thing leads to another and we magically move away from my brothers, who were glued to the TV and had just been fed, to my room down the hall and proceed to get straight to what he had been missing for a little over a week. The sex started fine, incredible even. After a bit she decided she wanted to change positions, so we stopped for a moment to facilitate the switch. I got a little too excited and tried to stick my extremely erect penis straight in when she was ready, and then it happened. Burning pain coming from my penis region that I knew wasn't good. As soon as I pull out my dick I started to see a lot of blood and I just knew it was mine. Basically what had happened was my frenulum tore, along with a decent amount of skin right under the tip of my penis. Cue freak out from my girlfriend, while I was kind of in shock at the whole situation and didn't want to accept what had just happened. There was so much blood that I knew immediately I needed to go to the hospital. I was initially hesitant to go, because of the nature of my injury, and because I was able to slow down the bleeding a bit, but my girlfriend finally convinced me to go. We had to call my parents and explain what happened, because we were supposed to be babysitting, so they knew exactly what happened before I even made it to the hospital. They are also nurses and I was asking if it was necessary to go to the hospital, and to my dismay they said yes. My girlfriend and I get to the and the allows no visitors, so I have to fill out the paperwork they give me while my penis is torn open, but I manage to stay calm for the most part. The only really awkward part was that there was no seats and I had to stand up and wait for my name to be called while simultaneously trying to keep pressure on the open wound on my penis. I didn't even try to explain it, I just didn't make eye contact with anyone. I eventually got called in and a doctor came in and asked me about the situation. I explained and then he looked at it, and told me it might need stitching. This was when I knew I fucked up. The thought of a stitching needle going through anywhere near, let alone on my penis, freaked me out. But wait, there's more. Doc comes back with a needle to numb the area, lidocaine he says. I forgot to mention this whole visit he's been talking about his YouTube channel here and there. WTF? My penis is bleeding and you're doing promo, gotta respect the hustle I guess. I'll try and cut the rest of the story short by saying he gave me the shots, plural, and stitched my penis up, said it should be good to go in about 2 weeks. It wasn't nearly as bad as it sounds, to be honest, but it definitely still sucked. He said my injury is common, but I was the first guy he's ever had to use stitches on for this injury in his whole career. Now I have stitches on my penis for 2 weeks until they dissolve away on their own. A new penile range of motion, a can't help but feel guilty girlfriend, and my family who now knows I tore my penis due to sex I was having while I was supposed to be babysitting. If it could have been worse, I'm not sure how. Definitely one of the more memorable days of my life. Too long did not read. Had sex with horny girlfriend while we were supposed to be babysitting. Tore my frenulum on my penis to a degree the doctor had never seen. Had to get stitches on my penis, and have to live with my parents knowing. Also I got these, discharge, home care instructions, and what they wrote under, chief complaint, was pretty straightforward. Thought you guys would like it. Closing square bracket opening parenthesis. You sound like you handled the situation like a champ. Word of advice. Don't go so hard. In 2 weeks' time. I know I shouldn't, but I've been laughing from start to finish. Hope your, penis recovers soon. Can you explain more about the doctor and his YouTube channel? That's actually hilarious. It's absolutely awful, but it didn't happen to me, so it's hilarious. Ripped PP. Big tip for any man reading this who is not circumcised: watch out with shower sex. I've had the same experience as Op because water is a terrible lubricant. Let my sacrifice not be in vain. What are you here for? Penis pain. Weird. Chief complaint penis pain was my band's name in college. Hey buddy, you should probably block out your EdCare provider name as well. Identifying information on the internet of any kind is usually a bad idea.